The water was dark and cold. Commander Jun Kim moved through it like a ghost. 15 years as a Navy SEAL had taught him how to become one with the sea. Tonight, his 6-man team was checking out strange signals coming from this part of the South China Sea. "Anything on sonar, Da?" Jun asked through his underwater comm system. "Nothing yet, Commander," Da replied. "But the signal is getting stronger." Jun nodded and gave hand signals to split the team. 3 SEALs went left, while Jun led the others right. They were investigating what the Navy thought might be a new Chinese underwater drone. Instead, they found something that would change humanity forever. Jun saw it first, a soft blue glow about 50 meters ahead. It wasn't like any underwater light he had seen before. The light seemed to bend the water around it. "Hold position," Jun ordered. He swam forward alone, his special forces training taking over. Every movement was careful and planned. The object came into view. It was not Chinese. It was not made by human hands at all. The ship, Jun knew instantly it was a ship, was smooth and oval-shaped, about the size of a small bus. It had no visible seams or windows, just a perfect surface that glowed with soft blue light. Jun had never seen any metal or material like it. As he got closer, part of the ship's hull suddenly became transparent. Jun saw figures moving inside. They were tall, thin, and definitely not human. "Command, this is Bravo 1, Jun said into his comm. "You're not going to believe this, but we have contact with what appears to be." He never finished the sentence. A beam of light shot out from the ship, freezing Jun in place. He couldn't move or speak. The water around him started to swirl, and he felt himself being pulled toward the ship. "Commander," Dai shouted through the comm. "Commander Kim." Jun's last view of Earth was his team swimming desperately toward him before everything went black. When Jun woke up, he was dry and lying on a flat surface that felt like metal but was warm to the touch. He was still in his diving gear, but his helmet and tanks were gone. The room was bright with the same blue light he had seen underwater. "The human is awake," said a voice. Jun sat up quickly, his SEAL training kicking in as he assessed for threats and escape routes. 2 beings stood watching him from across the small room. They were about 7 feet tall with slender bodies and large almond-shaped heads. Their skin was pale blue, and they had 4 long fingers on each hand. They wore simple, tight-fitting clothes with no visible fasteners. One of them held up a small device. "Can you understand me now?" it asked, the words slightly delayed from the movement of its thin mouth. "Yes," Jun said, surprised. "Who are you? Where am I?" "I am Director Tag, cultural anthropologist for the Galactic Council assessment mission," the alien said. "This is a serious breach of protocol. You were not supposed to encounter our observation vessel." "Observation vessel." Jun stood up slowly. "You were spying on us." "Assessing," Tag corrected. "The Council must assess all potential member species before first contact." "And now?" Jun asked, noticing that the room had no visible doors. "Now we have a problem," Ta said. "We were forced to extract you when our ship was discovered. The emergency jump took us beyond your solar system. We are currently 4.7 light-years from Earth." Jun felt his stomach drop. "You're saying I'm stranded in deep space. Until formal diplomatic relations are established between Earth and the Council, we cannot return you," Tai explained. "Council law forbids interference with pre-contact civilizations. Your accidental extraction was already a serious violation." "How long will that take?" Jun demanded. "The process typically requires years, sometimes decades," the second alien said. "Decades." Jun stepped forward, and both aliens moved back quickly, almost frightened. "Please remain calm," Ta said. "Your biological responses are concerning. We understand this is difficult. In the meantime, you will be our guest as a cultural attaché. You will help us understand humans as we prepare for eventual first contact." Jun looked out a window that suddenly appeared in the wall. The vastness of space stretched before him, stars scattered like diamonds on black velvet. Earth was nowhere to be seen. "When do we reach this council?" June asked finally. "We arrive at Central Station in 3 days," Ta said. "The representatives of 217 spacefaring civilizations await, and none of them has ever met a human before." June nodded slowly, his SEAL training helping him accept the unacceptable. Adapt and overcome. It was what he did best. "Then I guess I'd better make a good first impression," he said. The Central Station was massive. June had never seen anything so big made by hands, even if they weren't human hands. The station was shaped like a wheel with spokes going to the center. It was bigger than a small city. "This is the home of the Galactic Council," Director Ta said as their ship docked. "Over 200 species meet here to govern shared space." June watched aliens of all shapes and sizes move through the docking area. Some had 6 legs, others floated in the air. A few looked almost like giant insects. "They all look so different," June said, "but they all seem peaceful." "Most council species evolved as plant eaters or prey animals," Tai explained. "Their intelligence came from working together to survive, not from hunting." June thought about this. "And humans." "Your species is unusual," Ta said. "You evolved as pursuit predators with social bonds. Most predator species never develop advanced civilization. They remain aggressive and solitary." This information made June uneasy. "So I'm a predator among prey." "Precisely," Ta nodded, "which is why you must be careful. Your instincts and movements might frighten others unintentionally." A small door opened in the ship's wall. Ta led June into the station. The air smelled clean but strange. The gravity felt a little lighter than Earth's. "This will be your home for now," Ta said, showing June to a large room with simple furniture. "Your assistant will help you adjust to council society." As if on cue, the door opened. A female alien entered. She looked similar to Ta but smaller, with darker blue skin. "This is Ji," Ta said. "She studies predator species and will be your guide." Ji bowed slightly. "Welcome, Commander Kim. I've studied Earth's history and biology for many years." "You have?" June was surprised. "Many of us study promising species before first contact," Jai explained. "Though meeting you in person is different than I expected." "How so?" June asked. Jai hesitated. "Your movements are more controlled than I anticipated. You walk like a hunter even when you're not hunting." June had never thought about how he moved. His SEAL training had become second nature. "I'll try to seem less threatening," he said. "Tomorrow, you will attend your first council reception," Tay announced. Many representatives wished to meet the first human in council space. The reception was held in a large hall with high ceilings. Hundreds of aliens from dozens of species mingled and talked. They ate strange foods and drank colorful liquids. "Stay close to me," Ji said as they entered. "And try to move slowly." June nodded. He wore clothes provided by Ji. A simple blue tunic and pants made from a soft material. He felt naked without his uniform and weapons. As they walked into the room, a strange thing happened. Aliens nearby stopped talking. Some moved away quickly. Others froze in place. "What's wrong?" June whispered to Ji. "They sense you as a predator," she explained quietly. "It's instinct. Try smiling." June smiled at a small furry alien. It made a high-pitched sound and ran away. "Not with your teeth," Ji said. "Your teeth are frightening to herbivores." A tall insect-like alien approached them. "So this is the human," it said, its voice clicking through a translator. "Fascinating. You eat flesh, correct?" "We eat plants and animals," June explained. The alien's antennae twitched. "And you kill the animals yourselves? With those blunt teeth and no claws?" "We make tools," June said. This caused a stir among the listening aliens. One that looked like a tall, thin deer stepped forward. "Tools specifically for killing," it asked. Not for defense. Both, Jun answered honestly. The deer-like alien backed away. Others followed. Soon, Jun and Ji stood alone. That went poorly, Jun said. Actually, it went better than expected, Ji replied. They spoke to you directly. Many weren't sure if humans could be reasoned with. After the reception, Jun returned to his quarters with Ji. I don't understand, Jun said. I was being very polite. It's not what you said, Ji explained. It's everything else. The way you scan the room, how you stand, how you focus your eyes. To most council species, you look like you're hunting them. Jun sat down heavily. So I'm the monster here. Not a monster, Ji said. Just different. Most council members have never met a true predator species. Their worlds were made safe from such threats long ago. What about those hostile species Director Tai mentioned? Jun asked. There are a few, Ji admitted. The council handles them through the Guardian Force. Speaking of which, she smiled. Have you heard about the upcoming Guardian selection? No, Jun said. What's that? Perhaps, Ji said, it's your chance to show the council that a predator can also be a protector. 6 months passed. Jun learned about council life. He studied alien cultures and taught Ji about humans. Slowly, some aliens grew less afraid of him, though many still kept their distance. One morning, Ji rushed into Jun's quarters, clearly excited. It's happening, she said. The Galactic Guardian selection starts next week. You mentioned this before, Jun said. What exactly is it? The most important competition in council space, Ji explained. It happens once every 5 years. The winners become guardians, the protectors of the council. Like police, Jun asked. More than that, Ji said. Guardians handle the most dangerous situations. They protect diplomats, stop rare violent criminals, and defend against hostile species from unexplored space. And you think I should enter? Jun frowned. Yes, Ji's eyes shined with excitement. It would change how the council sees humans. If they see your abilities used to protect others, not to threaten them, it could help Earth when formal contact happens. Jun thought about it. He missed being part of a team with a clear mission. Being a diplomat wasn't his strength. How does this competition work? He asked. 5 challenges over 5 days, Ji said. Environmental survival, tactical problems, protective escort duty, non-lethal combat, and crisis management. Winners from each species join the Guardian Force. Has a new species ever competed before? Jun asked. Never, Ji admitted, but Director Ta has approved your entry if you want to try. The next day, Jun registered for the competition. The news spread quickly through the station. Many aliens were upset at his entry. Others were curious. Some made bets on how quickly the human would fail. The first day of the competition arrived. 47 aliens from different species gathered at the starting area. Each wore a simple uniform with their species symbol. Jun wore a uniform with a new symbol for Earth, a blue circle with a green pattern of continents. The first challenge was environmental survival. Competitors had to cross a massive dome filled with harsh conditions, extreme heat, bitter cold, toxic gases, and low oxygen areas. They needed to reach 10 checkpoints while handling these dangers. Competitors, begin, announced the head judge. The aliens rushed forward. Some flew. Others bounded on powerful legs. A few moved on all fours with amazing speed. Jun started at a steady pace. He watched how the others moved. Many aliens rushed into the heat zone, then slowed or stopped, overcome by the temperature. Jun had trained in deserts and Arctic conditions. He knew how to manage his body. In the heat zone, he controlled his breathing and kept a steady pace. In the cold section, he kept moving to generate heat. 3 hours into the challenge, most competitors were still working on the 4th or 5th checkpoint. Many struggled with the changing conditions. When Jun reached the toxic gas area, he took a deep breath, held it, and sprinted through. His SEAL training had prepared him for exactly this kind of challenge. At checkpoint 8, in a low-oxygen zone, Jun passed the current leader, a tall, bird-like alien who was struggling to breathe. The alien looked shocked as Jun moved past steadily. The viewers watching on screens around the station couldn't believe what they were seeing. This strange human, feared for his predatory nature, was handling conditions that challenged even the most elite council species. 5 hours after the start, Jun crossed the finish line. He was 3 hours ahead of the second-place finisher. No competitor in the history of the event had ever dominated the survival challenge so completely. In the viewing area, council representatives watched in stunned silence. "How is this possible?" asked one. "His species hasn't even mastered interstellar travel." Director Tay, standing nearby, answered, "Humans evolved on a world of extreme conditions and constant threats. Their bodies adapted to survive almost anywhere." "And this one?" another representative asked. "Is he typical of humans?" "No," Ta said. "Commander Kim is what humans call a Navy SEAL, one of their most elite warriors, trained to endure far beyond normal human limits." Jai could barely contain her excitement. "That was just the first event," she whispered to Ta. "Wait until they see what he can do in the tactical and combat rounds." The council representatives looked unsettled. If this was what one human could do, what would happen when all of humanity joined the galactic community? News of Jun's victory in the first challenge spread through the station. Some aliens now watched him with interest instead of fear. Others seemed more afraid than before. The second day brought the tactical problem-solving challenge. Competitors faced a series of puzzles and traps in a large maze. They had to use logic and strategy, not just physical skills. "This will be harder for you," Ji told Jun before the start. "These puzzles are based on galactic logic systems you haven't studied." Jun nodded. "I'll adapt." When the challenge began, Jun approached the first puzzle differently than the others. While most competitors tried to solve the alien logic directly, Jun looked for patterns and tested different approaches. In one section, competitors faced a room filling with water. The correct solution was to rearrange symbols on a wall to stop the flow. But Jun saw another way. He found a maintenance panel, forced it open, and bypassed the entire system. The judges were shocked. "That's not the intended solution," one protested. "But it worked," another replied. "The rules don't specify method, only results." By the end of day 2, Jun had finished third. Impressive for someone with no knowledge of alien logic systems. The council representatives debated what this meant. "Humans think differently," one observed. "They look for weaknesses in systems, not just the proper path." "That's dangerous," another said. "It makes them unpredictable." After the day's events, Director Tai asked Jun to join him in a private meeting room. Ta looked worried. "Is something wrong?" Jun asked. "We've received disturbing news," Ta said. "A Razon scout ship was detected near Council space." Razon. Jun had never heard this word. "A hostile species," Ta explained. "They rejected Council membership centuries ago. They're aggressive expansionists who see other species as resources, not equals." "Like predators?" Jun asked. "Yes, but without restraint," Ta said. "They're the closest thing to human predatory evolution in our known galaxy, but without your social bonds or moral codes." "Why tell me this?" Jun asked. "Your presence has complicated council politics," Ta said. "Some representatives fear humans are too dangerous to join galactic society. Others are fascinated by your abilities. With the Razon appearing after decades of absence, the timing is concerning." That night, Jun couldn't sleep. He thought about Earth, now involved in galactic politics without even knowing it. If the Council feared humans, they might decide to isolate Earth rather than welcome it. Day 3 of the competition featured the Protective Escort Challenge. Competitors had to guard a diplomat through a course filled with staged threats and attacks. Jun's military training shined here. He constantly scanned for dangers, anticipated attacks, and positioned himself to protect the diplomat. When staged attackers appeared, Jun neutralized them quickly and efficiently. The judges noted how Jun created safe zones, used the environment for cover, and kept multiple escape routes open. His approach was unlike any they had seen before. The human doesn't just react to threats, one judge commented. He predicts them before they happen. By the end of the third day, Jun led the overall competition. Aliens who had bet against him lost heavily. That evening, Ji brought news from the council chambers. 3 clear factions have formed regarding humans, she told Jun. The isolationists want to quarantine Earth. The progressives want immediate diplomatic relations. The traditionalists want to follow normal protocols, which would take decades. And the raison? Jun asked. Council sensors detected more ships, Ji said with concern. They're definitely moving toward council space. Some representatives think it's just a coincidence. Others think. She hesitated. They think the raison are coming because of me, Jun finished. Because they detected another predator species entering the galactic stage. Ji nodded. Predators notice other predators. What happens tomorrow? Jun asked, changing the subject. Non-lethal combat, Ji said. One-on-one matches against other competitors. Jun nodded. This was what he had been waiting for. A chance to show the council that human combat skills could be controlled and precise. Get some rest, Ji advised. Tomorrow will truly test how the council sees humans. Jun knew she was right. So far, he had impressed them with his survival skills, surprised them with his problem-solving, and shown his protective instincts. Tomorrow would reveal the true nature of human combat. Disciplined, effective, and when necessary, devastating. Day 4 of the competition arrived. The non-lethal combat challenge was held in a large arena with viewing areas for council representatives. Each competitor would face 3 opponents in one-on-one matches. Jun wore a simple training outfit provided by Jai. He stretched as he watched the other competitors. They were the best fighters from their species, but their movements seemed slow and predictable to his trained eye. Remember, Ji said quietly, you must win without causing fear. Show control, not just power. Jun nodded. I understand. His first opponent was a tall, 4-armed alien with tough, bark-like skin. The alien bowed to Jun before taking a fighting stance. When the signal came to begin, the alien rushed forward with all 4 arms swinging. Jun stepped aside smoothly, redirecting the alien's momentum. With precise movements, he used the alien's weight against it, bringing it to the ground with a controlled takedown. The audience was silent. They had expected violence from the human. Instead, they saw perfect control. Jun's second match was against a quick, cat-like alien that moved in blurring bursts of speed. Jun waited patiently, tracking its movements. When the alien attacked, Jun caught its arm and applied a simple joint lock. The alien tapped out immediately. For his final match, Jun faced the competition's defending champion, a tall, sleek alien with exceptional reflexes. Their match lasted longer. The alien was skilled and cautious, but Jun's SEAL training had prepared him for combat against any opponent. He feinted, causing the alien to commit to a block, then changed direction and swept its legs. The match ended with Jun applying a gentle but firm hold. After the matches, the judges huddled together, clearly troubled. One approached Director Ta. The humans' combat techniques, the judge said. They're unlike anything we've seen. Effective, but minimal. Where did they come from? Humans have thousands of years of combat history, Tai explained. Commander Kim practices disciplines refined over centuries, specifically to control and direct force. Meanwhile, in the council chambers, the debate about humanity grew heated. The isolationist faction showed recordings of Jun's matches. Look at his efficiency, their leader argued. Humans have clearly evolved as killers. They move like raison, but with more control, which makes them more dangerous, not less. The progressive faction disagreed. We've seen this human use his abilities to protect, to solve problems, and to compete with honor. Isn't that exactly what we want in a galactic neighbor? The traditionalists urged caution. We must follow established protocols. Rushed judgment, either way, could be catastrophic. As the debate raged, alarms suddenly blared throughout the station. Council security forces rushed to their posts. Director Ta hurried to find June. We have an emergency. A Raison scout ship has somehow penetrated our outer defenses. They're requesting docking clearance. Are you going to grant it? June asked. The council has already voted yes, Ta said grimly. They believe refusing would provoke a larger Raison response. A delegation of 3 Raison will board for what they call a diplomatic exchange. Jid joined them, looking worried. This hasn't happened in over 200 years. The Raison never seek diplomacy. They want to see me, Jun said. They've detected a new predator species and want to assess the threat. Ta nodded. The council requests your presence at the meeting. As Earth's representative. That's a change, Jun noted. Yesterday I was a potential threat. Today I'm a diplomat. The council hopes the Raison will see humans as council allies, Jai explained. It might deter them from aggressive action. The final day of the competition was postponed. Security teams prepared for the Raison arrival. June was given special clearance to observe the council meeting from a side chamber. When the Raison ship docked, tension filled the station. Security scanners checked the visitors for weapons before allowing them to enter the council chamber. June watched through a view screen as the Raison delegates entered. They were tall and powerful, with scaled skin and sharp features. Their eyes were forward-facing and predatory. They moved with confidence and strength. They reminded June of apex predators from Earth, dangerous, intelligent, and completely without fear. The council was about to face a true predator species, and only June understood what that really meant. The 3 Raison representatives stood before the council. They were nearly 8 feet tall with powerful bodies covered in dark green scales. Their eyes were yellow with vertical pupils. They looked like predators from Earth's ancient past. We thank the council for this meeting, the lead Raison said. His voice was deep and smooth. It has been many cycles since we last spoke. The council leader, a tall blue alien, replied carefully. The Raison have avoided council space for 200 years. Why come now? The Raison leader smiled, showing sharp teeth. We detected something interesting. A new predator species has entered council protection. We were curious. All eyes turned toward the side chamber where June watched. The Raison's gaze followed. Ah, the Raison leader said. So that is a human. Smaller than I expected. June felt a chill. These aliens had come specifically to see him. The council meeting continued with formal speeches. The Raison spoke of peace and cooperation, but their eyes told a different story. They studied the council representatives, the room's exits, and the security positions. They were assessing weaknesses. Suddenly, alarms blared again. The council leader received an urgent message and stood in shock. A second Raison ship has docked without authorization, she announced. They'd bypassed our security systems. The 3 Raison representatives smiled. It seems our guards were concerned for our safety, the leader said calmly. A simple misunderstanding. Security reports flooded in. 12 heavily armed Raison warriors had entered the station. They were heading straight for the council chambers. The Guardian commander ordered his team to defensive positions around the council representatives. They formed a protective circle, weapons ready. June watched the security feeds from his chamber. The Raison warriors moved with military precision. They easily overwhelmed the station security they encountered. This is wrong, June said to Ji and Ta. The Guardians are setting up a defensive position against predators like the Raison. That's a mistake. It's standard Guardian protocol, Jai explained. It won't work, June insisted. Look at how the Raison move. They're pack hunters. They'll surround the Guardians and pick them off. Without waiting for permission, June left the chamber and approached the Guardian commander. "Your formation is wrong," Jun said. "You're fighting defensively against predators. You need to become the predator." The commander looked confused. "This is how we've trained." "It won't work," Jun interrupted. "The Raison will slaughter you. Let me help." The commander hesitated, then saw the determination in Jun's eyes. "What do you suggest?" "Break your people into small teams. Abandon this position. We'll use the station layout to create ambushes." Jun pointed to the station map. "The Raison will expect you to protect the council in one place. We'll use that against them." The commander nodded. "Do it." Jun quickly organized the Guardians into 3-person teams. He positioned them at key junctions and service corridors. "Don't wait for them to come to you," Jun instructed. "Hit them fast, then move. Keep them confused and separated." Jid joined Jun, offering to help coordinate the teams. "I can relay your commands through their comm system." Jun nodded and continued giving instructions. "The Raison operate like pack hunters. If we separate them, they'll be vulnerable." The council representatives watched in amazement as the human transformed their defensive strategy into an offensive one. Some were frightened by how quickly Jun thought in terms of combat. "Is this how humans fight?" one representative asked Ta. "Yes," Ta said. "They call it asymmetric warfare. They've perfected it over thousands of years of conflict." The Raison warriors reached the council level. They expected to find a defensive formation they could surround. Instead, they found empty corridors. The first Guardian team struck from behind, stunning 2 Raison warriors before disappearing into a service tunnel. Another team attacked from above, using maintenance hatches to surprise more Raison. The Raison leader in the council chamber received reports of the attacks and frowned. "Interesting," he said. "Your Guardians don't fight like prey anymore. They have a new teacher." The council leader replied, looking toward where Jun was coordinating the defense. The Raison smiled. "Ah, the human predator teaches prey to hunt. Most interesting indeed." 4 Raison warriors broke through and reached the council chamber entrance. The 3 Raison representatives drew hidden weapons. Their diplomatic mission was revealed as the trap it had always been. "Now," the Raison leader announced, "we will show you true predators at work." But Jun was ready. He had kept 1 Guardian team in reserve for exactly this moment. The Raison leader raised his weapon toward the council members. At that exact moment, the ceiling panels above them crashed down. Jun's reserve team dropped into the room, stunning 2 of the Raison representatives before they could fire. The Raison leader was faster. He spun and fired at the Guardians, hitting one in the shoulder. He then grabbed the council leader, using her as a shield. Jun entered the chamber calmly. He carried no weapon. His hands were empty and held away from his body. "Release her," Jun said. His voice was quiet but firm. The Raison leader laughed. "The human speaks. Tell me, human, what will you do if I refuse? You have no weapon." "I don't need one," Jun replied. The Raison studied Jun with interest. "You believe you can defeat me hand to hand? I am twice your size, human." "Size isn't everything," Jun said, moving slowly to the left. He kept his movements smooth and non-threatening while positioning himself for a better angle. The Raison leader turned to keep Jun in view, exactly as Jun had planned. This movement exposed the Raison's side to the remaining Guardian in the reserve team. The Guardian fired, hitting the Raison's arm. The Raison roared in pain but kept hold of the council leader. His weapon was now pointed at her head. "You use others to fight for you," the Raison sneered. "That is not the way of a true predator." "That's where you're wrong," Jun said. "Humans hunt in teams. We always have." As he spoke, Jun gave a small hand signal. From the service entrance behind the Raison, Ji appeared silently. She carried a stun weapon she had taken from a fallen Guardian. "The difference between humans and Raison," Jun continued, keeping the Raison's attention, "is that we learn to protect, not just to hunt." Ji fired. The Raison leader fell, releasing the council leader. The attack was over in less than 5 minutes. All Rizon warriors were captured or neutralized. In the aftermath, Jun helped treat the wounded. The council representatives watched in surprise as the human who had just coordinated a deadly efficient defense now gently cared for the injured. "You saved us," the council leader said to Jun. "You saved all of us." Jun shook his head. "The Guardians did the fighting. I just showed them a different way to think about defense." "A predator's way," she said. "A protector's way," Jun corrected. 2 days later, the council called an emergency session. The Rezon attack had changed everything. Intelligence reports showed a Rezon fleet gathering at the edge of council space. "We must prepare for war," the council leader announced. "The Rezon will return in greater numbers." Jun was invited to address the council, a first for a non-member species representative. He stood before the gathered aliens, no longer seeing fear in their eyes when they looked at him. "I understand your fear," Jun began. "Not just of the Rezon, but of humans too. You're right to be careful. We are predators. Our history has much violence." The chamber was silent. No one had expected such honesty. "But that history taught us something important," Jun continued. "Predators can become protectors. The same abilities that make us dangerous can be used to defend others." He looked at the council members directly. "On Earth, I was a SEAL, a warrior trained to protect others, even at great risk to myself. The Rezon and humans are both predator species," Jun said, "but we're different in one important way. Humans learned to control our nature. We built societies where cooperation matters more than conflict. We turned our hunting skills toward defending our communities. The Rezon attack was a test," he explained. "They wanted to see your defenses and resolve. What they found were defenders unprepared for true predatory aggression. Your guardians are skilled, but they've never had to truly understand how predators think." Jun took a deep breath. "I have a proposal. I will help train your guardians in counter-predator tactics. In return, I ask that you speed up contact with Earth. Not full membership, but a defensive alliance against the Rezon threat." The council chamber erupted in discussion. Many representatives nodded in agreement. The recent attack had shown them how vulnerable they were. The council leader raised her hand for silence. "Commander Kim, before the attack, many feared what humans might bring to galactic society. Now we see that what humans bring might be exactly what we need." She turned to the full council. "I call for a vote on Commander Kim's proposal." One by one, the representatives voted. The result was clear. The council would form an alliance with Earth, and Jun would train their defenders. As Jun left the chamber, Jeet waited for him. "You've done what no diplomat could ever do," she said. "You've made the council see that being a predator can be a strength, not just a danger." Jun smiled. "Now the real work begins." The council moved quickly after their vote. A small ship was prepared to travel to Earth with council representatives, and a recorded message from Jun explaining the situation. The ship would take several weeks to reach Earth safely without alerting the Rezon. Meanwhile, Jun began training an elite guardian unit. He selected 30 guardians from different species based on their performance in the competition and their natural abilities. The training area was a large section of the station converted to simulate different environments. Jun stood before his new team on the first day. They watched him with respect and curiosity. "The Rezon think like predators because they are predators," Jun explained. "To defeat them, you must understand how they think." "But we are not predators," said one guardian, a tall, four-armed alien. "That's why I'm here," Jun replied. "I will teach you to think like predators while fighting as a team." The training was unlike anything the Guardians had experienced. Jun taught them human military tactics adapted for their different bodies and abilities. Species that could fly became scouts and snipers. Strong, heavily built aliens formed the front line. Quick, agile ones became strike teams. "In human military terms, we're creating a special forces unit," Jun told Ji, who helped coordinate the training. "Each member uses their natural strengths as part of the whole." Jai watched as June worked with a group of 6 guardians, teaching them how to set up an ambush. "You've transformed," she said when they had a moment alone. "When you first arrived, most aliens feared you. Now they follow you willingly." "They've transformed too," June said. "They're learning that being peaceful doesn't mean being defenseless." Director Tai often observed the training sessions. "We've spent thousands of years trying to move beyond our biological origins," he told Ji. "We wanted to become purely thinking beings. Yet now, in our time of greatest need, we turn to the most basic instincts." "Not basic," Ji corrected. "Balanced." June isn't teaching mindless aggression. He's teaching controlled, purposeful action. He's showing how to combine instinct with intelligence. The training continued for 3 months. The Guardians learned to think differently. Species that had evolved as herd animals learned to think like hunters. Those with flight instincts learned to use fear as a tool for awareness. One day during training, urgent news arrived. The Raison fleet had launched its first attack on a council outpost at the edge of their space. "We need to respond," June told the council. "My team is ready." Some council members were unsure. "They've only trained for 3 months, one argued. "The Raison have been warriors for centuries. But they've never faced human tactics," June countered. "And we have surprise on our side. The Raison think they understand council defenses. They don't know what we've prepared." The council approved the mission. June's team was sent on the fastest council ship to the attacked outpost. When they arrived, they found the Raison had already landed forces and taken control of half the outpost. June gathered his team. "Remember your training. Work as a unit. The Raison expect you to defend. Instead, we attack." The Guardians moved into position. Each team knew its role. Flying species provided overhead views of Raison positions. Strong species created distractions. Quick species struck from unexpected angles. The Raison were confused by the new tactics. They had expected the usual council response: defensive positions, protection of civilians, careful engagement. Instead, they faced aggressive, coordinated strikes that separated their forces and disrupted their command structure. Within hours, June's team had retaken the outpost. Most impressively, they captured a Raison command ship intact. The intelligence from its computers would be invaluable. The council was amazed by the victory. News spread through council space quickly. The human method, as it was now called, had achieved what centuries of traditional Guardian tactics could not: a clear victory against the Raison. After the battle, June watched his team rest and recover. They had fought well, using their new skills with confidence. More importantly, they had protected the outpost's civilian population with minimal casualties. "This is just the beginning," June told them. "The Raison will adapt. We must stay one step ahead." The captured Raison ship provided a wealth of information about Raison plans and strengths. The council now had time to prepare their defenses and warn other outposts. As June studied the Raison data, Jude brought news from Earth. "The diplomatic ship has made contact," she said excitedly. "Earth's governments are responding to the council message." "How did they react?" June asked. G smiled. "They want to meet the alien who made a Navy SEAL the galaxy's deadliest protector." 1 year had passed since June was accidentally taken from Earth. He stood on the observation deck of the council flagship, watching as a ship from Earth docked at the station. This wasn't the small diplomatic vessel the council had sent. This was a proper Earth ship, the first human vessel to reach council space. After the initial contact, Earth's governments had worked together like never before. With technical help from the council, humans had built their first faster-than-light ship in record time. Director Tai stood beside June at the viewing window. "You've changed us, June," he said. "For thousands of years, the council saw predator species as dangerous and unlikely to develop peaceful civilization. You showed us that predatory instinct, properly directed, creates the most dedicated protectors." June's Guardian Force had become famous throughout council space. In the past year, They had defeated 3 major Rezon attacks. New Guardian units trained in June's methods were forming across the galaxy. The irony, June replied, is that on Earth, I was just one of many. There are thousands of men and women with my training, many better than me. Which is why the Rezon have now proposed a peace agreement, G said, joining them. Their latest intelligence must have shown them what would happen if they face full human involvement. June smiled at Jie. Their relationship had grown over the past year. She was now the lead coordinator for all Guardian training programs, working closely with June to adapt human tactics to alien bodies and abilities. Is it true that Earth will send more military advisors? G asked. Yes, June nodded. SEAL teams, Army Special Forces, Marines. All volunteers. They'll help train Guardians throughout Council space. The Earth ship completed its docking procedure. June felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He hadn't seen another human in a year. Are you ready? Tai asked. I think so, June said. It's strange. I've gotten so used to being the only human here. The 3 walked to the main docking area. Council representatives were already there, prepared for the formal greeting. The ship's airlock opened, and the Earth delegation stepped out. They were led by military officers and diplomats. June recognized the insignia of the Navy, Army, Air Force, and Marines. Behind them came scientists and government officials. The leader of the delegation, an admiral, saw June and smiled. Commander Kim, he said, stepping forward. Your message caused quite a stir back home. Sir, June replied, standing at attention and saluting. The admiral returned the salute, then did something unexpected. He reached out and hugged June. Relax, son, he said quietly. You've done your duty and more. The whole world knows your story now. June was surprised. My story. When the council ship arrived and explained what happened to you, it was worldwide news. Navy SEAL abducted by aliens, becomes humanity's first ambassador, trains alien defenders, saves the galaxy. You couldn't make this up. June laughed. It did sound unbelievable. The council's senior representative stepped forward to formally greet the Earth delegation. She used the ceremonial words June had helped write. Welcome, protectors of Earth. The stars have long awaited your guardianship. The admiral replied with the prepared response. We come as equals and friends, ready to stand with you against any threat. After the formal greetings, the Earth delegation was shown to their quarters. June gave them a tour of the station, answering their many questions about council species and customs. Later, alone with Ji and Tai, June felt a strange mix of emotions. It feels good to see humans again, he said, but this station has become my home too. You bridge 2 worlds now, Ta said. The first of many humans who will help shape galactic society. And what about the Rezon? Ji asked. Do you think their peace offer is real? For now, June said, they've studied humans and realized something important. We're not just predators who protect our own. We protect anyone we consider under our care. The Rezon can understand territorial defense. What they can't understand is fighting to protect others. That's what makes humans special, Ji said. Not that you're the galaxy's deadliest predators, but that you choose to be its greatest protectors. June looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, other predator species might wait, perhaps even more dangerous than the Rezon. But now the council had new defenders and a new understanding. Sometimes it takes a predator to stop a predator. The greatest hunters could also be the greatest guardians. That was humanity's gift to the stars. ***, the end ***.